Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about the Bleach Rebirth of Soul system overview trailer. First things first, subscribe please. I talk about anime updates that are coming to Bleach Rebirth of Souls, Hinokami Chronicles, which I need to get on. I apologize for my Hinokami Chronicle fans, and Sparking Zero. I do also do gameplay, but if you're not interested in gameplay, then those three informational videos, if you are interested in them, check them out. I will be covering the game extensively, so there is that. Now we're gonna jump into this right now. First things first, DLC characters. They are 1,000 Year Blood War confirmed. I believe there are 4,000 Year Blood War characters that are coming. Right now, we don't know which one specifically. It is all speculation. We don't know if it's from Core 1, Core 2, or Core 3. It is obviously not going to be from Core 4 because Core 4 has not come out yet, and the Core 4 is when the most exciting stuff probably happens. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to spoil. If you are anime only, I will let you figure that out by yourself when it's dropped. So it will probably not make it to the game. Now, I personally wish it was the Fullbring arc. Fullbring Bakai Ichigo has an amazing character design. I guess it makes sense for it not to be Fullbring since it's not as popular. However, I would have liked Fullbring Ichigo. I would have liked Tsukishima. Yeah, I mean Genjo's cool. But yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next thing, we're gonna be talking about the gameplay mechanics that Bleach Rebirth of Souls offers. Now, yeah, so this game is pretty much going to be a battle of frames. You're going to have to figure out what your opponent is doing, or you're going to have to rush in there and attack the opponent first yourself. Whichever you do, you have to make sure that you do not miss your attack, because that will probably lead to devastating damage. Of course, there are mechanics to prevent you from losing all of your Kanpaku and probably just one burst, but you just want to make sure that you get those hits dead on. You have to be really tactical about what you think. So you might want to start looking into frame advantages and taking into account which moves have a lot of in lag and which moves don't. So they also said that each character will have different speeds and will also have different amounts of range that they can hit you with their normal attacks with. So that means someone like Byakuya probably has a super duper long range due to his Zanpakuto, and someone like maybe, let's say, Sunshui, or no, let's say Grimmjow, he probably has a shorter range compared to some characters. Our next thing we're going to be talking about is reverse actions. So our first reverse action is Chain Reverse. Chain Reverse can be connected into your follow-up attacks while active. Apparently, these attacks can essentially be used to combo extend for long periods of time. Of course, you won't be able to combo as long as you probably think you will do with this action because of our next reverse action, which is Burst Reverse. So Burst Reverse, essentially, you can think of it, if you played Sparking Zero, you can think of it as an explosive wave as such. If you haven't played Sparking Zero, I will go into more detail right now. Essentially, Burst Reverse knocks your opponent back to neutral. So they are far away from you. They can't follow up from that long, depending on what character that they're using. Like I said earlier, Byakuya has a long range Zanpakuto, so he might be able to hit you easier from that range compared to others. I'm not sure how far back it knocks back. So yeah, you might want to keep that in mind whenever you're using attack. Burst Reverse essentially is used to cancel your opponent's attacks though. That is the main feature of Burst Reverse. So you don't lose all of your HP or all of your Kanpaku in one fellow swoop. The next reverse action that they showed was Soul Reverse. Now, Soul Reverse it helps you recover your Reishi, and it automatically enhances your step. Now, when it says that, I'm thinking it probably gives you Sonito, or it just gives you, like, I'm assuming it gives you access to Flash Step, essentially. That's what I'm assuming. Now, if this is true, this is probably going to be like, I don't know how often you're able to use this. I don't know how often your reverse gauge fills up to use these specific moves. I believe every time you use a reverse action, you have to use the reverse meter. And the reverse meter is a meter all on its own. This game has a lot of mechanics that you're going to have to figure out for yourself and you're going to have to lab with. You can essentially think of this as, well, this isn't Bleach Tekken, But with the amount of mechanics that this game has, you could almost think of it as, well, you can almost think of it as like Tekken, but Bleach. But it's not Tekken, but Bleach. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, I'm just doing a bad job at explaining it. Listen, I'm just a dude rambling on the internet trying to give other people information. So, but yeah, that's our, that's Soul Reverse. We're going to go into our next topic, which is a follow-up Ho-Ho. This is also apparently used to follow up your combos. So basically, yeah, it extends your combos as well. Which, if you're worried, again, if you're worried that you will get comboed into oblivion, do not worry. You will have burst reverse action to get your opponent back to neutral. You also have counters, and I'm sure there's something else that I'm missing at the moment. But we know for sure that those two are two things that you can do to where you don't even have to worry about just losing all of your health in one fellow swoop. All right, so Kampaku. We're going to talk about Kampaku real quick. Your Kampaku is essentially the amount of bars of life that you have above you. You'll see the number most of the time, or all of the time, your Kampaku will be at 9. Now, I don't know if all of the characters have the same Kampaku. I'm assuming that they do, because it would make certain characters broken and certain characters, weaker. But from what I see, the Kampaku is always at 9. Now, the way you get rid of someone's Kampaku is by using a Keycon move. A Keycon move is essentially a giant attack that's going to take away your opponent's Kampaku. And I don't know how much Kampaku each Keycon move takes. Like, a Keycon move can maybe take 3 bars of Kampaku, or it could take maybe 4. I'm not completely sure on how the system works. I'm going to have to go in game and see myself when the game actually releases. But as far as we know, that is what a Keycon move does, and you can only do it once you get rid of all of your opponent's Reishi. Now, we're going to talk about Awakenings. Now, this is probably my hypest part. Like, this is probably the hypest part of the game to me. Now, your Awakening only builds up as you go through the fight. Certain characters have 2 Awakenings. You could think of Aizen or Ukiura, or even Bankei Ichigo, which, by the way, that's my GOAT. I will be maining along with Gen. But you could think of those 3 as characters that have 3, technically 3 states. You have their base, you have their first awakening, and then you have their second awakening. Most characters only have 1 awakening, ones being Renji, Byakuya, and, Rukia. Well, no, not Rukia. Rukia does have an awakening. So characters that just have 2 awakenings, you can think of Byakuya, Renji. At certain points in the match, you will be able to awaken depending on the amount of health you have and the amount of Kampaku you have left. Now, I'm not sure at which specific point you're able to use this awakening move. It could be like very late into the match to where it's going to decide the entire game, or it could be relatively mid-match into the game and y'all could just fight in y'all's awakened states. I don't know if awakened states, once you go into them, they stay for the rest of the match. If they do, that's amazing. If they don't, that's also cool. I'm fine with either or. But yeah, that is your awakening state. Now, as for the Keycon channel, I don't really understand this completely. Obviously, it's a stronger version of your Keycon move. So as your Keycon move, I think it would take 3 Kampaku. I think Keycon channel obviously would take more, since it is described as something that takes even more. Like, it's a stronger version of your Keycon move. So I'm assuming you can only use Keycon channel when you're in your awakened state. It would make the most sense. I think that's the case. Again, this is something that I'd have to confirm in game. I can't be 100% sure of anything until I actually get my hands on the game, but I'm pretty sure that is how Keycon channel works. Alright, so let's talk about the different game modes of Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I talked about this a little in my previous video. You can go check it out, even though it's an old video. So obviously you have your regular offline mode, which is basically like your training mode. You can go workshop any combos, if you need to learn how to do something, or if you don't know how to, like, say you don't know how to get out of combos, you don't know how to use your burst reversal, then you can go into training mode and train to learn how to use it effectively. Now, you also have online mode, which is obviously what almost everyone is going to be on once they play this game. online mode is essentially what it just says it is. PvP. It's one character versus one character. You don't switch characters. Once you have a character locked in, it's locked in for the rest of that match. But yeah, online mode is probably what you're mostly going to be on most of the time. Of course, the next thing that you have is story, but the story only covers as far as the conclusion of the Arrancar arc. Now, one more thing that I just want to throw in here is we still do not know if Dangai Ichigo will be a playable character. We haven't seen any trailer for him, and we also know that the DLC does not include any character from any other arc except for 1,000 Year Blood War. So that also does bring into question if Dangai Ichigo will be a part of the cast of characters or if he will be left out. And he's obviously a very sought after character since it's Dangai Ichigo, the Drip Lord Ichigo. But yeah, that character is not confirmed. If you are wondering, we still do not know. We still have time to be revealed. He still has time to get revealed. However, it's not official. Also, it would be a lot of Ichigo characters, but it also makes sense that it is an Ichigo character since, well, Ichigo is the main character of Bleach. Now, I want to pause for a moment here and say that we get to see like simple UI of Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I'm pretty sure this is the official UI. Now, as you can see, it's sleek. It's not doing too much. And you have everything just laid out for you right there. You have your store, you have your offline, you have your online, you have your tutorial, you have your store, you have your options, and you have your extras. Obviously, tutorial is just what it says it is. If you need to get a base understanding of the game, you can go into tutorial and you could just play around in there. I don't know all what the tutorial will teach you. I assume, obviously, the tutorial would teach you most things. Offline mode will help you refine everything that you learned in the tutorial. Now, Bleach Rebirth of Souls also has secret stories. Basically, they are original stories, including the perspectives of each character in the story. I don't know if it's each character, actually, but it provides the story from that point of view of a character. We don't know which characters will be in the secret story and which ones will not be in the secret story, but assuming that all the captains will be in the secret story, each captain or each character will apparently be more fleshed out. I don't actually know if Kubo wrote these original stories himself, so I don't know if they're canon or not. Whether it is or not, that's something I'd have to look more into myself. But these secret stories will be able to flesh out certain aspects of a character that we maybe didn't see in the original story, or they just patched it up after the anime ended. Alright, so next you have mission mode. Mission mode is essentially, well, it's not training mode or anything like that. It's actually, you could think of it as like time trials in Mario Kart. These are missions that have specific sets of challenges ingrained into them, and you have to probably be relatively skilled to defeat certain missions. I'm assuming. That's just assuming though. I'm not completely sure what type of challenging elements are going to be included into the mission mode. Mission mode is not a part of story mode, by the way. Mission mode is something else by itself, so you don't have to worry about that. But mission mode can be used for training, and with the amount of challenging elements that they might add, it might be worth playing and looking into. And last but not least, you have your store. Your store basically allows you to buy costumes, it allows you to buy name tags, it allows you to buy probably some to display your name, like the little backdrop that it shows when your name is being announced in PvP. Yeah, you'll be able to buy all that stuff in the store. I'm not sure if the store is like once you reach a specific place, then you're able to buy something, or right out the gate you're able to buy everything in the store. But without a further ado, that is everything in the system overview trailer. If y'all enjoyed, like and subscribe. I tried to make sure that all my information is correct. If I'm wrong on something, please do comment in the comments. I don't want to just be giving out false information. And without a further ado, that is the end of the video. If y'all liked, still, as I said in the beginning, subscribe, take a look around my other content as well. I appreciate all of y'all for stopping by. If you found this informative, let me know. I always read the comments, and well, the little comments that I get, I always appreciate each and every one of y'all, whether the comment is good or bad or not. But y'all have a good one. I appreciate all of you for watching the video, and yeah, peace out, guys.